everyone? I want to do a little different type of video today, but still tie it back to comics. Now, a lot of us know that Marvel Rivals is a very popular game right now, has been for a little over a year. And some people that play the game don't actually know like some of the history or origins or anything like that about some of the characters. So I decided to do a little character spotlight video because in this last season of Marvel Rivals that just came out, in the season pass, they included an Ultimate Wolverine skin. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are not really familiar with the Ultimate Universe of Marvel. So I decided to do this little spotlight to give people a little bit more info on the character. So Ultimate Wolverine, he comes from the Ultimate Universe. The Ultimate Universe was created by the Maker, which is essentially a evil version, evil version of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. So he kind of creates his own universe, and in this universe, he's made it a lot darker. A lot of characters' backstories have changed. He's put different events into order to prevent certain characters from having their same origins, to make them weaker, to make them more controlled, things like that. So in this story in Ultimate Wolverine, the Maker wanted to prevent anyone from ever becoming superheroes and to establish a secret council of supervillains called the Maker's Council that would kind of rule the world from the shadows. There's this big, I guess you would say, territory in this universe called the Eurasian Republic, which is Europe and Asia, and it's actually ruled by Colossus, Magic, and Omega Red. Now, if you know any Marvel history, you know that Magic and Colossus are brothers. They're both Russian. But Omega Red is actually another Russian character who is a villain of Wolverine's. But in this universe, those three actually rule the Eurasian Republic, which has been known as like one of two places in the world for all like mutant kind and mutant activity. And they kind of make this secret division of the government called Director X, where they find mutants with unique abilities and then they try to exploit them to make them into either tools, weapons, or controlled by the government. And that whole project is headed by this doctor named Dr. Alanya Prostovich. But that's kind of where we find Ultimate Wolverine. But as you know, every time there's a evil or bad force out there, there's also a good force. So there's actually a rebel kind of coalition that's come to be called the Opposition. Literally the Ops. And those are the good guys, and some of the mutants and stuff that never became X-Men in this universe. They've become kind of like freedom fighters for mutant kind and have taken up arms against the Eurasian Republic. And this also includes some heroes that are not mutants. Like we'll find a couple here later on in the story. But for this video, we're just going to be going over issue 1 of Ultimate Wolverine. So in this one, we start out in a AC-130 or C-17 type military plane flying over a city, and you got two soldiers in there, and they're kind of talking amongst each other. And they're like, look at him. Do you think he can hear us? Why don't you ask? I'm not asking him nothing. Creeps me out. And as you can see, they have Ultimate Wolverine is sitting in the plane with them, and these soldiers are kind of wary about him. They're kind of scared of him and nervous. They heard things about him, that he was an experiment gone wrong. They're saying rumors about how some people say he's not a man at all, but he's pieced together from corpses of soldiers who've died. It's like all these horror stories that Ultimate Wolverine has kind of built up his reputation while under the control of the Eurasian Republic. They even talk about how some people say he can't die, that he's been blown up, stabbed, shot, and he always comes back. Which is funny because we know that Wolverine has a healing factor. So then Wolverine kind of just jumps out of the plane. They're like, does he have a chute? And he just jumps out of the plane and kind of Captain America style in Winter Soldier. Which is funny because in this universe, Wolverine actually becomes the Winter Soldier. He is the Winter Soldier. He's a assassin that was brainwashed by the Eurasian Republic to be their weapon to go hunt down fugitives and people of the opposition to go and kill them. And they actually show you and they tell you how Wolverine was caught to begin with, and it was because they did an airstrike opposition, and some of the mutants and stuff of the rebels, they died, but Wolverine he survived the airstrike barely. I mean, like, half his body's blown off, his face is kind of ripped off, and the Eurasian Republic find him like crawling away through the snow, and so they end up that's how they capture him after that airstrike. So then Wolverine, we go back to him in present time, and he jumped out of the plane, and you see him shooting across the sky, and you see these kind of opposition soldiers, and they see it come through the air, and they're like, is that a Republic missile or debris from a satellite? They're like, it's coming right at us, and boom! Freaking lands right next to them, explodes, the whole ground impact. They're yelling, take cover. And in the midst of the smoke from the large impact that just happened, they're coughing, they can't see anything. You see Wolverine sneak up on them and just totally freaking slice them up, kill them, and you see him coming out of the smoke looking super badass. Then we cut to inside of the church where this assassination is going down, and you see Ultimate Nightcrawler and Ultimate Mystique. Now in this, Mystique is a soldier for the opposition, and Nightcrawler also works with the opposition, but he's like a priest, kind of just like how he was in our regular 616. He's always been kind of like man of God and preaching and all that, despite his looks and stuff. So in here, he's like actually a full-on priest, and he's with the opposition, and they hear the shooting going on outside. They're hearing these noises, and all of a sudden they see Wolverine's claws go through the door. That's when Nightcrawler kind of yells for everyone to run. And we jump back to the leaders. We got Colossus, Magic, and Omega Red along with the Doctor, and they're kind of talking about Wolverine while he's in captivity, and this is before they apply the adamantium to his skeleton. So right now he's kind of just Bone Claws Wolverine, and they're talking about how he's a killer, and he can easily take out people. He's a weapon. They're kind of impressed by him, and they're asking what can they do. They're kind of telling the doctor that she's failed before. So her idea is that they can attempt the skeletal enhancement on this specimen, which is what they call Wolverine, is the specimen, because they've tried to do the skeletal enhancement before, and every time they try to do it on someone, they die, but they think Wolverine can withstand it, which is what, happens in the 616 universe. But this time, it's not the Weapon X program, but it's this, Director X secret kind of division that's doing it. And so then they kind of talk about it, and they tell her that it's a wild thought, but she better not fail again, pretty much. And she's telling them how they've tried to give Wolverine sedative 4 times, and every time he's killed the technician that's tried to give it to him. And they're kind of like wary now about the idea of using him, saying that he can't be controlled. And the doctor kind of mentions that they have a telepath that they can use to keep him under their control. And if they do that and use him, that she doesn't think the opposition will be a problem much longer for them. So he is a useful specimen to them. Then we jump back to the church in present time. Wolverine kind of blew through the door. He cracks his neck, and you see Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's kind of like, I know that man, and Mystique's kind of just like, fire. She don't care. She wants him dead. So they all start firing on him, and Nightcrawler is kind of in the back saying some Hail Marys and stuff. But as you can see, Nightcrawler he recognizes him, because none of these people know that Wolverine is still alive. He's actually not even called Wolverine yet. They just know him as Logan. They think he died in that airstrike. They never knew he got captured. So as Nightcrawler's saying all his prayers, Wolverine's kind of just slicing up all of the opposition and just destroying everyone. And Wolverine then comes up on Mystique, and so Mystique kind of hides behind a pillar, and Wolverine's kind of looking for her, and he's sniffing the air and stuff. And then Colossus comes out with a giant gun, but Logan kind of sniffs some more, and then goes ahead and slices the throat. Well, first he attacks Colossus, and Colossus hits him with a knee, hits him with the gun, starts shooting. Wolverine kind of jumps out of the way, and then he just leaps off of the wall, slashes the gun barrel off, and slashes the throat of Colossus. And you end up seeing that Colossus was actually Mystique trying to trick Wolverine by being Colossus, because she knows Colossus is the leader of the bad guys, the Eurasian Republic. So so Wolverine kills Mystique in this ultimate Mystique. She dies to the hand of Logan, gets her throat slashed, which is pretty epic. And then you kind of see her on the ground. He does his cool aura farming, and then Nightcrawler's kind of like, oh man, what's coming up for me? It's at that point where they go back in time again, to when they're about to do the skeletal enhancement on Logan, which we all know is the adamantium skeleton, where he gets all his metal bones and claws and all that. And they kind of the doctors are kind of talking, and they're nervous, if he's actually sedated or not, or if they need to do more. They're kind of talking about how after all the experiments, he'll kind of be born again as just a cold-blooded, relentless, merciless kind of agent for them. And that's when they say they'll call him their Winter Soldier. So he's actually Winter Soldier in this universe instead of Bucky. And then it cuts back to the present day fight with Wolverine at the church. And Nightcrawler kind of tells him, he says, if you are who I think you are, he's like, I don't know what they've done to you, but this isn't you. And he's just telling him, like, my friend, it's me, it's Kurt, I beg you, please, I don't wish to fight. And Logan, kind of the mindless, controlled soldier that he is now, he just starts smashing the obstacles in front of Nightcrawler that he was hiding behind. And Nightcrawler kind of starts, tearing up and just tells him he's sorry. And as Wolverine goes to land a killing slash on him, Nightcrawler teleports out of the way. And in his kind of like signature purple smoke that he leaves behind when he teleports, he ends up teleporting above Wolverine, kicking him in the face, sending Wolverine flying through, crates, walls, and all that. And then Nightcrawler picks up a assault rifle, and he's like, forgive me, but I would do what I must, kind of like a last prayer that he has. And Wolverine's ready for him, and Nightcrawler just starts teleporting around him, just shooting the assault rifle on him from different angles, which is pretty cool to see. It's cool to see the iconic BAMF kind of like noise that they've always put, kind of like the Wolverine snick, even though in this one they put shink, which is kind of different. But then as Nightcrawler is teleporting around, Wolverine kind of stops, sniffs the air, and as soon as Nightcrawler appears again, he knows where he's gonna be, and he freaking stabs him through the chest with one of his claws, and then stabs him with the other claw, and that lifts him into the air. And as Nightcrawler's dying, he's crying, saying, his last words to Logan, because he knows it's Logan. And he tells him, if you're in there, my friend, I pray you have the strength. I'm sorry we weren't quick enough. We came back for you. We would always come back for you. And Wolverine kind of just like finishes him off, and Nightcrawler lays there dying. Holy crap, man, that part was pretty epic and sad, because if you know like the history between Wolverine and Nightcrawler, they've always had like a really good friendship and kind of tease each other back and forth and all this, and to see him go out at the hands of a controlled Wolverine is kind of crazy. So that was a mission accomplished by the Winter Soldier. So he finished his mission and killing everyone there. And he's kind of walking out of the church and kind of seeing the aftermath of what he was sent to do. It cuts back to the past again, where they're kind of brainwashing Logan as the Winter Soldier here, and they're showing him pictures of Nightcrawler and Mystique. I think this is when they were like kind of getting him ready for the mission that we just saw him do. They're kind of like talking trash to him, the general there, calling him a fighter and stuff, but telling him that he's not a part of history, that he is history, because he's gonna be the one to like take out the opposition for them. And then we get Wolverine kind of in the plane ride back from his assassination mission, and he takes his helmet off and sniffs the blood on his hands, which I believe are Nightcrawler's blood. And then you kind of see the Nightcrawler prayer that he was saying again, the Hail Mary, while Wolverine kind of sits there contemplating. And then it says to be continued. Now there you kind of see, like, is it kind of getting through to him what he's doing, or is he just completely brainwashed, and has no clue? But they kind of like foreshadow a little bit here that maybe he is kind of realizing what they've been sending him to do, and all that. And at the end of the first issue, they include this prayer that was by Nightcrawler. It's actually kind of really sad and like touching at the same time, because it's like a prayer that Nightcrawler said to a group of the opposition, and in it he mentions a friend that he really misses and cared for, that died and was a great person and all these good things. And he's talking about Wolverine, which is crazy because Wolverine's the one that ends up killing him. So it was pretty ironic. If you want to read the prayer, you could pause the video. But yeah, it was a little emotional there. I was like, okay, I was not expecting that from an Ultimate Wolverine comic. But yeah, I mean, to me, I really love the comic, and I've read past the first issue. Obviously, I think the 14th issue just came out, which I believe it's only going to 16. I think it ends in April 2026. But yeah, I just wanted to give some backstory and a little character spotlight on Ultimate Wolverine, because I know Wolverine is a pretty popular character, but people might not know about the Ultimate Wolverine variation of him, especially if you're playing Marvel Rivals and you just think it's a cool skin, but there's a whole backstory behind it, and I really enjoyed it. I love using that skin too.
No wonder your brother called you Snowflake, Ilyana. Some extra healing never hurt.
From limbo.
You're mine. Told you I was the best.
But yeah, if you guys like this video, and you want to see more like this, leave a comment. Let me know if you want a part 2, because like I said, there's already like 14 issues of this. So this is just the first issue. So yeah, just let me know if you guys want a part 2 in the comments. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Okami Archives logging out. Peace.